It from the Pit is a motorized board game made by Milton Bradley in 1992. If you've ever played a board game, most likely you've heard of Milton Bradley, but if not, here's a brief description. Started in 1860, the Milton Bradley Company is a titan in games, whether it be board games, handhelds, and even console games. To this day, Milton Bradley has made many hit games we all know and love, such as Candyland, Yahtzee, and Twister. But in the years from 1986 to 1992, after being taken over by Hasbro in 1984, had three major successful games that are now considered cult classics by many who grew up with them. Those games were Fireball Island, Forbidden Bridge, and of course, It from the Pit. All three of these games seem to follow a similar storyline of adventurers seeking treasure and facing deadly perils in order to succeed.
It's guarding the treasure!
What's it? That's it!
All very Indiana Jones sounding, and nothing you would see much of these days in board games. The goal of the game is to take your adventurers around the pit to obtain the treasure before your rival adventurers do, while avoiding being grabbed by the It creature and pulled down to the green pool of death. The rules of the game are simple: roll, move, and pass the dice. But what makes this game an adrenaline ride for all ages is the It creature will always be in motion and grabbing at areas randomly, so when you roll, you will need to move fast and try to avoid dying. There are ways of being strategic in how you do this. You can go the safer way up the hills that are out of the creature's grasp, but will take you more rolls to get to the treasure. Or you can go the almost suicide route and try to make it without being grabbed. This game can be up to 4 players, each of which will have 4 lives to use to get to the treasure. If upon being grabbed by the creature, you will simply spawn your next life in the nearest base camp you were grabbed by on the board. Now for the negatives about the game. First, this game is noisy. I don't know if it was meant to sound like the monster is chasing you around, but you will hear every grind and turn of the gears in this game as you play. Second, the It creature can get stuck or stop moving while it turns, and you will often have to turn off the game and recenter the creature. This can happen often and kill the fun. Third, look at the instructions! Advanced linkage assembly, axles, levers, screwdrivers, spring battery operated automation? This game's instructions look and sound like a piece of furniture from IKEA. We must have been really smart 6-year-olds, since that's the demographic this game was aimed for. On a scale of 1 to 10, I rank It from the Pit at an 8. All in all, this was, and still to this day, a great game to have in your collection, and will not only awe your friends on how cool it is to have a game like this because it's so unusual, but it will take you back to those great years in board games when your imagination was just as important as your skill to strategize. If you enjoyed this video, and you'd like to see more videos of me doing reviews on board games from the 80s and 90s, hit the like button, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next game review.
You can't get away from it! It's from the pit!